Greetings, I am Rob Chapman and welcome to my demonstration of these fantastic Seymour Duncan humbucking pickups. Pause for coffee. This is my fantastically stunning Rabea Massage signature model Chapman guitars BO1. Now, this guitar is a beast. You can probably tell if you are anyone that knows anything about Chapman guitars that this is one I've relicked myself. I am ashamed to say that I held it over the oven stove and burnt the finish off because I thought it would be a really good idea, and I'm sure it's probably changed the tonal characteristics of the body, but not these incredible pickups which I put in after the fact of burning my guitar on my oven stove. So what have I got? Well, in the neck I have the SH-2 Jazz, the classic pickup that you probably all know and love already. People like Dave Mustaine use this pickup, and people like me use this pickup. People like Captain Andertons use this pickup. It's classic, it's an Alnico magnet-based passive humbucker that give you beautiful cleans, warm lovely tones, and all the kind of words that people normally use when all you want to do is really hear the pickup. So here is the SH-2 Jazz from Seymour Duncan. By the way, I'm using my Victory Silverback on the clean channel, no gain at all. I'm miking up using the awesome Rode IXY microphone, which is just great. It gives you a sort of a room sound, fat, warm room sound, kind of the way I'm hearing it as I'm sat here. I hope you like these tones. The Jazz is 4 conductors, so I can tap it and give you some slightly clearer tones. This is probably a good point to say that I'm using 12 to 64 gauge Diodario strings. This is the thickest set I've ever used in my life. It feels really interesting actually, because you'd expect it to be really hard, but I've tuned it right down to A sharp standard. So here's, that's my E chord. The only thing is that it's really difficult to bend because they're so thick, there's so much material that the second you do bend, although it's easy to bend the string up, you get a dramatic pitch change for a very small amount of movement. So just a tiny little, I can just bend it tones and tones and tones with a tiny bend, which is something I think I'd probably get used to, but probably not. So that's the SH-2 in a clean tone. Let me give you a crunch tone on the SH-2 Jazz from Seymour Duncan. So the Silverback is now set to my overdrive channel without the boost engaged, so it's just enough to give you some hot, dirty filth. And now I'll activate the gain boost circuit just to give it a bit more fatness and warmth.
smashed.
Because the camera's on, I gotta say, my buddy Dan's just walked in and he looks like someone's just force-fed him alcohol for many hours and then dragged him home by his face. Dan, say hi to the camera.
Hi, camera.
Okay, in the bridge position, I've got the PATB2, or you might better know it as the Parallel Access Trembucker. This thing is absolutely insane because it's really, really tight and hot, but it's got this clarity in it that I was really surprised to hear when I crank up my Silverback and play it really loud. It doesn't have that muddy, kind of thumpy clumpiness that we don't like about pickups. Again, words that mean practically nothing at all unless you just listen to the amplifier. So here is a clean tone using the Parallel Access Trembucker. Set incredibly clean, but this is a really heavy output pickup, so it's pushing the amp really hard. Let me tap it for you because again this is conducting and you can tap it, and here's the difference. But the majority of you will be here to hear the gain tones from the Parallel Access, and so I bring you filthy gain tones. So there you go guys, fantastic tones from Seymour Duncan as you've come to know and love. One last thing before I go, I've got to show you this thing that I got recently, which I think is one of the best inventions in the entire world, so much so that I bought 30 of them when I immediately knew it existed. This is a Trem Devil. Now I am forever losing my Allen key to unlock the widgets here and the widgets there to change strings on Floyd Rose guitars, and it does my nut in. In fact, Rabia and I had one that we were sharing for ages and we lost it and it's bad. So anyway, Trem Devil. It's the Allen key that you use to unlock your tremolo on a keychain in a circle, and it almost looks like a devil's horns because of the way it's been bent. Genius. Go and buy a load of them and stick them on your keychain and never lose your Trem Devil, because that makes sound guitar players who can't change strings, and that will be bad, and it's what I'm about to do right now. You guys take it easy. Chappers out.